Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Larry Farver, and let's queer up gay culture. Same-sex weddings pump $5.9 billion into the U.S. economy since marriage equality. A new report from the Williams Institute at UCLA School of Law has found that same-sex couples and their wedding guests have pumped nearly $5.9 billion with a B, into the U.S. economy since 2015 Supreme Court ruling that legalized marriage equality nationwide. Since Obergefell versus Hodges, more than 591,000 same-sex couples have tied the knot, about 80% of them celebrating with weddings or other events. At an average of $8,546 per wedding, that adds up to a very handsome $4.9 billion in spending. And with more than 7.6 million guests traveling from out of state, another $1 billion has been added through tourism-related boosts. Christy Mallory, lead author and interim executive director of the Williams Institute, said, quote, "Marriage equality has had a significant impact on the lives and well-being of same-sex couples in the U.S. Additionally, it has offered a substantial financial benefit to businesses as well as state and local governments," end quote. The impact has been widely felt, with the South surprisingly accounting for the largest share, $2.3 billion in wedding-related spending. The West saw $1.7 billion, and the Midwest around $1 billion, and the Northeast around $900 million. The report also found that this spending generated an estimated $432 million in state and local sales taxes, enough to support over 41,000 jobs for 1 year. Despite these economic gains, 9 states have introduced non-binding resolutions calling on the Supreme Court to revisit Obergefell. Though the court hasn't acted, Justice Clarence Thomas previously called for reconsideration of marriage equality, and in a concurring opinion, even if Obergefell were overturned, same-sex marriages would still be recognized federally under the Respect for Marriage Act signed by President Biden in 2022. However, the law does not require states to perform them. With billions in spending, thousands of jobs supported, and millions of lives impacted, one thing is clear: marriage equality isn't just about love, it's also about good for the economy. I mean, I think that we need, as a community, to, no matter who we're dealing with, we need to show our impact on the economy, what we bring to the table. So in addition to using our strengths in the entertainment and creative communities, certainly what we bring to the table in terms of weddings. And I was really surprised by the statistics with the South in the lead, the West and Midwest, because I came from the Northeast, and when we had our wedding, we were on a budget. We had a really great wedding, and people couldn't believe how much we got for our wedding. But it's encouraging to have a story like this.
But destination weddings are the thing, right? And so where do people want to go? They want to go to where it's warm.
Yes.
They want to go to Vegas. They want to go to the South, So, of course, that's where I think, those destinations are happening. I'd be interested in knowing what the international numbers are like on that. Like, how many of us are going abroad to get married or on a cruise ship?
I was surprised that the numbers were so low. I mean, I've been to plenty of same-sex marriages, and they are over the top. So the $5.9 billion was actually
You mean we're
low.
tacky?
But I think we have a lot more connections. We know how to network.
Also true.
Yes.
Also true. But to your point, I was surprised about the South too. But you do mention, destination weddings. We either, want the ice princess, or we want somewhere warm where we can, be in shorts on the beach. So the South being so high was actually, not too surprising with that being said. So, I mean, how many Disney weddings do you think were there?
Oh, Lord. Oh, so many princesses.
Yes. Probably in the princess carriage.
Right.
That's the big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing queer news tonight.